guys, it's Shannon with Pick and Booth Vintage. I have a different kind of a camera angle today, purely because I want you guys to be able to see up close, and I'm just using a tripod. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about Woodubend molding. Let me show you an example. These are made out of wood pulp, like sawdust and other economically friendly pieces. And you can see that it's hard. I have a roll here. I'm going to show you today how to activate these and then add them to a project. All right, so let's get started. The first thing I wanted to show you is you either are going to use a heat gun or a blow dryer. Whatever you have is fine. Now see this molding, how it is semi-arched? It's because it's hard, but I'll activate it when I heat it up. Watch this. Simply just going to apply some heat to the piece. Oops. Now look. Now I can bend it. This stuff is amazing. Okay, so that is just to show you a quick example of how to activate the Woodubend molding. All right. Now, the Woodubend molding can be drilled, sanded, painted, stained, varnished, distressed, and bent. So you notice that after I heated it up, I can now bend it. I've seen this several times. Somebody has put it on a clay pot around the edge. There's all different types of moldings that you can use, different patterns and stuff. And then you can say, maybe put like a big decorative piece on like this. Another thing to keep in mind is that you can cut it. So if you don't want this extra piece up here, you can simply just cut it off. Okay, so let's get started on how to use Woodubend. First off, I have this really old frame, and I've already attached 2 of these. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pick out the Woodubend molding that you want to use, and you're simply just going to heat it up, because right now it is hard as a rock. So I heat it up, and a piece this small, you obviously don't want to burn your hand, so just set it down, apply some heat to it. You'll notice that it'll, well, I can tell because I can feel it, but you can touch it and you can feel that it is now pliable. So I simply just take some glue, some plain old wood glue. Oops, come on. Oh, there we go. Use my finger, put it on. No worries about wood glue, it does dry clear. So I'm going to put it here. And I can set it with my heat gun. So okay, while this is drying, I want to show you what you can do after you already have them attached to your piece. If you remember from last week, I did this decorative molding as an example. We did it around the mirror with the skull and the deer antlers. We antiqued it. What I did was I simply added a Woodubend flower, kind of to give it a little bit of dimension. See? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to paint it. I've picked peony from the Dixie Belle line, and I'm just going to simply paint it. After it's painted, we're going to make it look old and antique like the rest of the piece. So let me just fill in all these little cracks. What's nice is when these are heated, they're very porous and they absorb a lot of different textures. Like you can paint it, stain it, wax it, antique it. Okay, so I'm gonna put my heat gun on it just for a second to help it dry just a tad. You'll notice it's a lot brighter than the color on my trim. However, once I add my stain to it, it'll change. Let's see, let's get that up close. How's that? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I have some Voodoo gel stain from Dixie Belle, and I'm going to simply cover it, add it to there. What this is gonna do is it's gonna give it an age look. I could use glaze or the Voodoo Stain, apply that, and then you're just gonna take a rag and you're going to kind of dab it off. Because what it's gonna do is it's going to stay in the valleys of your piece. All right. All right, I just forgot that I forgot to put my lights on. Let me put my lights on so you can see this better. Hold on. There we go. Now we should be able to see this way better. Okay. See that? How cool is that? Now it actually matches the piece. Okay, so I could have used glaze. I chose Voodoo Gel Stain. That's more of a translucent. It's not like the oil-based gel stain, but this is the Voodoo Stain, and it'll dry really pretty. Okay, so now let's go back to this old frame. This is an old piece of barnwood that was made into a frame back in the day. And I was lucky enough to find a few of these. But you notice now, these are on, they're attached, and they're ready to go. However, I really like the natural look of this frame, and I wouldn't want to ruin that. But I need to do something to these pieces. So I'm just going to do my Voodoo Stain, because you can stain these or you can paint them. I'm just going to reactivate them, because when they're reactivated, they become porous and they suck in the paint or color or the stain. These things are absolutely amazing. They're hard as a rock, but once you heat them up, they become so soft. Okay, so there we go. This is just using the Voodoo Stain, and I'm just going to apply it in here. This is my first one. It's a little thick, so I'm just going to take my rag and take off the excess. Wow, look at that. Now, is it typical for flowers to be brown? No, however, it does go with this frame. The last one. Like I said, all these wood, there are thousands of different kinds of Woodubend moldings. We carry some here at the shop. Ta-da! Now, this is my frame. Let's see, how am I going to get that in the picture? You'll notice that the Woodubend moldings they really blend in with the frame, and they kind of get lost just a tad. There are a few things we can do to make the flower stand out a little bit. That is simply either we can put a little bit of gilding wax on here. We can use some regular white wax to kind of get down in the grooves, or we can take a little bit of a whitewash paint and put over that if we wanted to. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to put my heat gun on it, let it dry for a second, and I'm just going to put a little bit of the white wax on it just so you can see what the effect can be. Okay. Just drying the Voodoo Stain just a little bit. Okay. I'm just taking my white wax, and I'm just going to use my finger, and I'm just going to lightly dust over the edges of the flower. See that? I'm not sure how the it's capturing it on there, but it is adding a little bit of dimension to the floral pieces. All right, so what do you think? Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so these are the Woodubend Mouldings. Again, they come in all different sizes and shapes. Look at this keyhole. How cool would that be on an old dresser that maybe didn't have a keyhole on it, but you can add it to it? These, there's all different kinds of decorative patterns you can get. If you only need this part because you want to put it in a corner, heat it up and you can cut it. And then that way you can use part of it going one way in a frame and another way. These are very versatile. All right, so let's go back to this molding. I'm going to add a little bit more to it. What we did was we added the Voodoo Stain into the valleys of the flower. Now I just want to touch on the little peaks just to give it a little bit more dimension. And just because it's handy, I'm going to use the white wax. See? All right. So, these are just a few examples of what you can do with the Woodubend molding. This one is really my favorite. I love the natural wood look with a little bit of the stain and a little bit of the white wax just to emphasize the outline of the flowers. Now, flowers are not for everybody, obviously, but there's birds, there's all kinds of decorative scrolls. Like this rope here. Before I stop, I'm going to show you how to take this roll apart, because if you notice, it is not going anywhere. But like this would be perfect, going up and down, and you can take it and put it all the way around a frame, a flat frame. There's all different types of different ropes, different dimensions, like thickness. There's a really pretty rope one, and there's some really big, fat, wide ones. Okay, so let me just go ahead and show you how easy it is to use the rope. What you need is either your heat gun or a blow dryer. Thanks, Judy. Hey, Jeannie. Okay, so I'm just going to show you real quick. Like, see, I can't, it's not coming off. But once I turn my heat gun on and apply some heat to it, now all of a sudden, look, I can unroll it very easily. And it is now pliable that I can wrap it around something, or I can lay it flat on a frame. This stuff is just super easy to use and worth every penny. Like I said, we have some here in the store. Hey, Jenny. I will be ordering more because these things are really cool to use and they're really super easy. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody who's watched me. I appreciate it. I look forward to Technique Tuesdays purely because, okay, you can see me now. Woo, purely because Tuesdays are the day that I get to wake up and take a shower and feel normal again. I have a place to go here at the shop. I'm not in my pajamas all day. I actually have on my normal pick and boots outfit, and it just feels good to be out. Well, not out, I'm in my store by myself. But anyway, thank you all for watching. For those of you that may not know already, we have an inventory page. If you want to support local, you can join our group. It's called Pick and Boots Vintage Inventory. You just simply click join and you can look at all of our inventory. You can ask us questions, sizes. Some things have prices, some have measurements. Some don't, but we are online all the time looking to help. You can call, email, comment on the picture. We will invoice you and arrange curbside pickup. Also, on our webpage, which is pbvintage.com, you can buy all the paints. And I am working on getting the Woodubend Mouldings on them, but I have a big order coming and I don't know exactly which ones will be coming in because some of them are sold out. Anyway, thank you, and I will see you next Tuesday, and I have a cool project scheduled. I just can't remember what it is right now. Anyway, take care, guys. Have a great day.